Up next, we're going to pivot to another important topic for blockchain and Web3 and for technology development here in the United States and globally. We're going to hear from David Johnston. He's an open source developer on a new project called Morpheus, which is an open source AI project and protocol. AI has really captured the attention of the technology community as well as the blockchain and the crypto space. And there's a lot of important fights that have happened in crypto that are also applying to AI. We're going to hear about this from David and why it's so important to continue to ensure that open source is the future of computing technology. Welcome, David.
Hey guys, David Johnston here. If you don't know me before, most people know me for creating the framework for decentralized applications. So I wrote the paper on dApps in 2013. So if you've heard of decentralized applications, I'm the dApps guy. I was asked today to speak about how we're going to decentralize AI because I think this is effectively the next big wave of things that we're going to see happen in the ecosystem. Right. I look forward to 24, 25. How do we use programmable money? Who is going to be using it? To me, the obvious answer is AI, right? Nobody's going to give AI a bank account, but it's going to be using crypto. It's going to be using Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so, that's the future we're talking about. And this is what I'm about. How do we unite the crypto tribes with the open source AI people? And let me back up first and talk about why this is important, right? I think AI has something incredible to offer the crypto community, and that is a really easy user interface, right? AI is so intuitive. You just chat, tell the machine what you want to do, it understands what you're trying to accomplish, lines it up for you, and you can push one button. So I sincerely believe that AI is how crypto gets to the first billion users, right? I think back to like 1998. Who here was around in 98 and used Google for the first time, right? That was transformative, right? If you remember the web before Google, it was janky, right? It was hard to use. It was very technical. You're like navigating directories, typing in IP addresses, right? It wasn't easy, right? And so 1998, there were only 100 million users of the web, right? Google shows up, takes away all the technical barriers. You've now got this magic box. You just tell it what you want. I want to see a sports website. It curates the entire internet and gave you the best option, right? That's how the internet got to 1 billion users, right? You have to remove all the technical barriers for people and make it easy for everyone to access. That's where we are in crypto today, right? It's 1998. It's not easy to use. There are a few 100 million people using it, but it has value to offer to billions of people, right? So that's where I think we're at. AI is going to come in and make it so easy to use crypto. Now, what does crypto have to offer AI? The other side of the coin is AI needs decentralized compute. It needs a way to do payments online. It needs to reward open source developers that build the agents. These are the things Web3 was built for. So it's the perfect match between the AI community benefiting from the infrastructure Web3 has and the Web3 community, crypto, benefiting from the new interfaces that the AI builders have created. So let's talk about why this is urgent right now. Who here heard about the executive order that Biden just put out regarding AI a few weeks ago? Okay, so about half the people in the crowd. There's some real gems in here I'm going to tell you guys about today. First off, in 252 days, the U.S. Commerce Department will determine whether open source AI constitute dual-use munitions and will thus be illegal to export open source AI from the U.S. I mean, this is crazy. This is like 1991 restrictions on cryptography kind of days stuff, right? Turns out banning math didn't work then. It might not work now. You know, that's what I'm betting. The other gems in here are the administration put a hard cap on the amount of gigabytes of size the AI can be. 20 gigabytes. 20 gigabytes. My laptop has more space than the permissionless AI you'll be allowed to use without registering with Homeland Security. I kid you not. The third gem is they put in a compute limit, 10 to the 26 power, which is about as much computer power as the Bitcoin network uses in 3 minutes. So that's going to be the amount of compute you can use to train an AI in the US without registering with Homeland Security, right? Let me demystify this. This is just regulatory capture. Straight up, end of statement. Microsoft, Google, they wrote this executive order. Certainly Biden didn't write this executive order, right? They handed it to him and he signed it, right? They're trying to effectively prevent all the startups that are coming up and competing with them from really making a dent in their business, right? So this is a regulatory capture move to try to push out the startups that are trying to challenge these big tech incumbents. And so all of a sudden, the AI people have just learned that permissionless, decentralized systems are going to be really important for the future of their industry, just like it was for Bitcoin, right? Think back to the past of Bitcoin. Most of the hash rate was not in the United States, right? It was overseas. And other countries became less favorable. Texas led the way with being very friendly. And we got a huge amount of miners and people moved here, right? Bitcoin and crypto have pioneered a system that works anywhere in the world. And so we can create competition between these jurisdictions, right? And so that's what we're talking about. Well, this is why it's so urgent that everybody knows what's going on, that we're speaking out during this time. So I want to tell you a story about one of my heroes. This is Phil Zimmermann, for anybody that doesn't know him. And in 1991, when Joe Biden proposed a law to ban encryption for emails, this inspired Phil Zimmermann to release Pretty Good Privacy, commonly known as PGP. This became the global standard for privacy and encryption of emails and effectively made government attempts to ban math impossible to enforce. I mean, Phil would famously publish his algorithm in books. He printed it on t-shirts, and eventually he won in court on First Amendment grounds. And it turns out the judges were not willing to ban books or ban t-shirts that had his algorithm printed on them, right? And so 32 years later, to have the same person trying to ban math again, it's a little funny, you know, but that's sort of the history of where we've come from. But this time it's even worse for Biden because there's already millions of people using open source AI today. The genie's out of the bottle. People want to use math and language. There's no practical way to stop them from doing so. And so after the executive order, we held a party protesting regulatory capture in San Francisco. And in one day, we had 700 people come out to say that they didn't want this. They wanted to keep open source. They wanted to decentralize AI. So we have a lot of people on our side. This is the shot from the event. You could recognize some of the symbols for accelerationism or computer die, right? There's a lot of funny memes that are coming out of all this. But I think Eric Voorhees, the great philosopher of our time, really captured this eloquently on Twitter when he said the importance of decentralizing AI is approaching the importance of decentralizing money. Because if you don't have the right to language or math, how are you going to spend your money, right? These things are very closely intertwined. Another great person to highlight is Mark Andreessen, who created the modern web browser and is famous for being a venture capitalist, has suggested that we should legalize math. And I think that that's a good call to action that most reasonable people would agree with, and hasn't stopped posting come and take it memes for 2 weeks solid, of which I really appreciate all these math-based come and take it memes, right? I mean, it just kind of points out the absurdity of what's going on. The great philosopher Jeff Bezos put out that, they tried to do this with crypto. Now they're trying to shut down AI. It's time to join forces, right? So we're seeing people that are interested in AI come together with people interested in crypto. More Mark Andreessen themes for come and take it for your matrix math or your GPUs. I thought particularly the right to compute shall not be infringed was a great one, as our forefathers fought for, obviously. And then, really just to hit the nail on the head is Balaji said it well, where a free internet means free AI. We will fight government control over compute with everything we have, right? And I think that's the right way to think about it, And being here, at a policy summit, I would call upon Texas, right, to stand up for the right to compute. Who has the most to lose from this new executive order? It's Texas. Where are those chip foundries being built? They're being built in Texas. Who do you think's going to use the chips if there's an arbitrary limit on the amount of compute that people can do in the U.S.? This will cost Texas billions of dollars and thousands of jobs. But this is the kind of thing that the state should stand up against, right? And be approaching Biden on this unconstitutional executive order, right? I think that's a no-brainer for Texas. So this is our new flag. There's your GPU. Come and take it. I think that fits the ethics of Texas very well. But, this is already starting to work, right? The blowback from this executive order is starting to bear fruit for us. So yesterday, the UK announced that they are not going to regulate AI. So I don't want to have to move to London, but I will move to London if that's what it takes to build the most interesting technology in the world, right? There's an open competition for this type of talent. And I hope that Texas again leads and attracts people and stands up for these rights so that we can get people coming to Austin and running away from California and other jurisdictions, right? So this is starting to work. The same thing is happening in the EU. The EU put forth a regulatory framework, and now France and Germany are pushing back against it because they've got local AI companies that they don't want to be excluded by these big incumbents. So people are starting to push back. The other way to push back is just to build code, right? And, I'm an open source contributor. That's what I love to do. There are great new projects like Morpheus, Edge Llama, many others that are releasing every day ways to run open source AI on your own laptop, totally permissionless, no money paid to Microsoft. You can run it on your own machine. And so I put out a call for all builders, entrepreneurs, coders. We're going to hold a decentralized AI summit in Austin come December 8th and 9th. Apply online, come out, come build. We're going to have some of the best Web3 protocols there. We're going to have some of the top AI people in the country there. Like, this is what we're doing. We're going to keep building and shipping open source and building this decentralized future. So that's what I'm excited about. I hope you'll check it out because I think this can be the next wave of adoption for crypto and beyond. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out to the 2023 North American Blockchain Summit. It was the best summit yet. We look forward to hosting you again next year. If you enjoyed the summit or like what you saw in this video, be sure to subscribe. If you're interested in learning more about membership in the TBC, go to texasblockchaincouncil.org to learn more.